You heard of RFK Jr. and he's gotten himself into a lot of hot water recently.
No, tell me more.
Dude, man. For those of you guys that don't know, last month or the month before that, the book that I was reading was Atomic Habits, which is a good book. Blah blah blah. I'm not plugging it in; they're not paying me, but it's a good book. I recommend it to anybody. I'm audiobooking now, and it's gonna be a bit of an audiobook because it's 26 hours. It's called The Real Dr. Fauci by RFK Jr.,
Wow.
where he's actually talking about how Dr. Fauci butchered the pandemic, and how as a result, because other countries look at America, and I'm giving you guys a synopsis of what I read so far. You guys feel free to check out the book, respond back and say that I was wrong on certain things that I was saying. That's no problem. I'm just from memory. Basically, how the pandemic was butchered, how they were in such a rush to get people vaccinated that they skipped the part of telling people, make sure you're healthy, go outside, walk, get exercise. If you're at high risk, protect yourself. Like there was a whole bunch of other things that could have been done instead of locking down, canceling school, and getting vaccinated. And so he's been under a lot of hot water for questioning the vaccine for the most part.
Yeah, man. I've actually read a few articles about how people basically, I think they were trying to get 2-year-olds to get the vaccine. And the crazy thing about that is that the articles are basically showing case studies where basically getting the bug actually, is less deadly than actually getting common cold, which people usually get.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
So it's kind of scary how they're, they got to the point, I don't know what age. Did they get to 7? Like, how young did they get with the vaccination?
Like 14, 15, I think. I don't
15,
know.
okay. Yeah, because they were trying to push it to 2-year-olds at one point.
The thing is this, man. If you look at the numbers, it's not even a secret anymore. That there was, speaking of inflation, that there was a bug, the mortalities as a result of the bug was some of those numbers were kind of padded.
Yeah.
Like if you went to the hospital and you had like a heart attack or something like that,
Or diagnosing it as that.
yeah,
Like, oh, you have that.
and you also had that, they would say that was the cause of death and not the heart attack.
Yeah, and I think that had to do with also funding, right?
I feel like I think it was like double digit, not double digits, like 5-figure funding for each person that had it.
Damn, what a scam,
in hospitals.
bro.
Yeah, this is according to and guys, please feel free to fact check me. I'll read the RFK Jr. book, The Real Dr. Fauci. But what was scarier is that like Dr. Fauci supposedly was like buddies with a lot of these pharmaceutical companies, and he was getting some indirect funding and stuff like that.
Wow, backdoor deals and stuff.
Yeah, so it would behoove somebody with those backdoor deals to recommend to the United States government that people should be
Wow.
locked down and people should take the vaccine because it's
So unethical, man.
Yeah, it is unethical. It's 100% unethical. And what's messed up about this is that there were people who were flat out anti-vaxxers to a ridiculous degree, saying that the vaccine gave you 5G receptivity. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there were also doctors that said, "Hey, this vaccine, I'm questioning the validity and I'm questioning the effectiveness of this vaccine." Doctors, respectable doctors, who got kind of like treated like they got marginalized, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And they were made to look like they were crazy. And the media, which was running cover for Dr. Fauci, was being all smug. They were saying, "Oh, if you get the vaccine, you're protected from the bug." That wasn't true. "Oh, if you get the vaccine, you don't spread it to other people." That wasn't true. It got to the point where they would just abandon that whole thing altogether. You know what I mean?
I think in the general population, there was a division as well where just normal people that didn't want to get the vaccine were looked at as crazy.
Right, and you know what it is? You would think like a healthy looking person who exercises and eats right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna automatically assume he takes his health seriously. So I'm gonna assume that even though he was questioning the vaccine, and even though you might have thought he was wrong for questioning it, you have to respect the fact that it was coming from a place of, well, this guy takes care of himself, so he's always made from what you see right here in front of you. He's always made decisions to take care of his health. It seems like he's always made decisions to take care of his health. Therefore, this decision he's not making it out of some conspiracy theory. He's just making it from.
Yeah, he's just concerned.
He's just concerned, and he's doing it like he's always done everything else as it relates to his health.
Yeah.
But people were too intellectually. I don't know what the word is. Like, they weren't thinking. They were just like, oh, this person says it. Well, I'm gonna follow what this person says, and anybody who doesn't. It was disgusting, bro.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
It was disgusting.
I think they were also using the elderly as a way to get people vaccinated. They were like, hey, what? Aren't you afraid that your
Your
grandma, your grandpa, is vulnerable and you get them sick?
And the thing is, like, yo, well, if the vaccine works the way you said it does, if they got vaccinated, then they have nothing to worry about, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, well, that's not how vaccines work. Like, how do they work then? Because we were always told, you get a weak version of the virus.
We're always told a lot of things, man.
We were always told a lot of things. But one of the main things they told us is, like, you get a weak version of the virus, your body fights it off. So then when you get the real version of the virus, your body fights it off with no issues. But that didn't happen. Instead, you have some people were even hospitalized after they got the COVID shot, not because they got the COVID shot, from what I know of, but because they still caught the virus after they got vaccinated. And their response, what do you think they said? You think they said, this doesn't work? They were like, imagine if I didn't get the shot, what would have happened?
Yep.
And so, RFK Jr. is under a lot of hot water. He's even under more hot water now because he's trying to run as a DNC primary candidate. He's trying to go against Biden in DNC primaries. Now, I think that RFK Jr. might be one of the perfect candidates to start his own third party.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. They might start a third party.
He's this is an oxymoron in America, but he's political royalty.
What do you mean? Because of his last name?
He's the nephew of John F. Kennedy and the son of Robert F. Kennedy. And so who better to run and try to start a third party than him? But, he people already kind of making him look like a nut job. This is RFK's son. Yeah. They're making him look like a nut job already. They're making him seem like sorry for the noise outside. It's fine. Yeah, it's whatever. It's people are playing outside. But they're making him seem like some kind of nut job, like some anti-vax conspiracy theory nut job, when in reality, like, he's just questioning. Like, when was it a problem to question stuff? When did it become smart to trust big pharma?
Yeah.
You guys are constantly saying, don't trust big businesses, they're unethical, they cut corners, but you immediately jump on this vaccine because John Oliver told you to?
It's kind of interesting that
because CNN told you to? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's kind of interesting that you mentioned the last name Kennedy, because it seems like that last name always comes up when they're like, it seems like that family is always questioning the government, right?
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah, so it's
aliens.
I was gonna compare it to. I mean, I don't know if our audience is into like manga and stuff, but like in this manga called One Piece, there's like this certain family that's against the government, and they have a D in their initials, and whenever they see the government sees someone with the D initials, they're like, oh, that they're part of that family. And the crazy thing about that manga, it talks about a void where people forgot about what was done, and then the world government takes over everything. So it's crazy because
that's pretty cool.